Michael Burry, the famous, make quite a fortune in investments and provides for the possible disasters that could affect them all. A man who raises trend, that's the truth. But now that he has sold all of his shares, what was going on? Could it be that he knows something that we don't know about? It is a figure very smart in the current environment and is well known for its no more bets and controversial but very risky. Who came with you? He is best known for winning a lot. But a lot of money after it has gone up against in the real estate market in the United States. Pre-V and a crisis at the beginning of the year of 2000 a year. He is also known to have referred to the great crisis which we are experiencing at the moment, with all of that headline inflation we're living in. And that has made the day a much more challenging. And it looks like he's struck again. And Dexondo all over the world to worry about, and the reason for the incident, Michael Burry, just sell all of your shares. The genius of the investments, he decided to sell all of the shares held in the financial markets. And this has left the community of investors alarmed, confused, and anxious. After all, and that he has the authority to influence an investor. And now you are left with the questions. What is it that Michael Burry had sold all of the shares? It will be that he has another crisis is more terrifying still? Could it be that he has seen something that no one else saw it? Or could it be that he's simply gone mad and is going to devote himself to a life far removed from the mundane concerns of the money go? The answer to all of these questions you're only going to find here on the channel, GabTech. The better of the series, the technology and the investment is there in the YouTube video. People can relax in this chair, and if you want to, and to check out right now what is going on in the world of investing. And if you're new here, don't forget to click like and subscribe to the video. It's just so the YouTube algorithm has understood that you found this content to be relevant and will be sharing it with more and more people. Who is Michael Burry? Michael Burry is a successful investor, gives the stock exchange, the businessman and a doctor, an ex-neurologist. Burry was born in the United States in New York City, June 19, 1971. It has become a figure that is well known there, and in the 2007, for what you have done to the predictions of some haunting the financial markets, which have allowed him to, in some way, to profit from the global crisis of 2008, which was triggered by the bursting of the bubble, the mortgage crisis. And if you do not know or do not remember the former two classes of history, the collapse of the housing bubble, the American, was caused by an increase in the ease of financing and real estate in the country. It was marked by a strong deregulation of the financial markets. Real estate investments are traditionally viewed as high risk, were to be classified as an insurance agency in jeopardy. This has led to much of the United States and the world to get your savings desregulamentadas, and the crisis has reached millions of people. After all, is the country with the largest economy in the world, which until then was in a financial crisis. Then all of the other countries that had monetary agreements with them ended up suffering from the economic crisis, leading to an increase in prices and a decrease in performance. In addition to the failure of the companies, especially the banks, such as Lehman Brothers, which had influence across the globe. Michael Burry was able to predict what was going to happen, being prepared to work around this until a brilliant idea came to him, and he decided to invest with this, that is, to bet their money in bankruptcy, to break such a system. And thus, he was able to reach out to more than $1 billion in the crisis. But to Michael, there was a figure in popular society that was not considered to be a single star. On the contrary, he was not very good at interacting with other people, but they have features that may indicate Asperger's syndrome. Burry had led a life of more peace and quiet. This is one of the reasons why he left medicine to devote himself entirely to the financial markets. It was a fairly well-known, or even famous, when it was recorded by the Bale in the film, The Main Objective, which depicts the events of the crisis, and it shows Burry as someone who was able to take the profit out of one of the biggest crises since the Great Depression of 1929. It was then, Burry, it became well known outside the community of investors, which was the site where up until then, he was, yes, some fans are familiar with his work prior to the show, the mentors in the world of investments. One of his interests since his youth was in the financial market, in addition to the rock and roll and the arts. Michael has spoken in interviews that they've come to spend the nights of whole arguing on internet forums for months and months. In college, he tried to areas such as English language, the administration of medicine to it, but none of them is called so much attention to. So he decided to follow his wishes and was having great success in the field. And no wonder, after all, his mentor was none other than Benjamin Graham, was the mentor of Warren Buffett, and the Warren Buffett whose story we have already told you here on the channel. And you can check it out by clicking on the link that is showing up right here on the card, but it's only when you're finished with this one. But even though these two figures, the weight of him leading the way, Michael Burry wanted to follow in his footsteps. I have my own ideas. I read a lot of news, he said. I like to follow my nose and all the news from the press. So yes, most of all, Burry, it has to teach us is that we should trust in ourselves and the decisions and the objectives that we seek. But what's next? What will be the consequences and the reasons for the decision, as unexpected, to sell all of his shares without a word to anyone? Why did Michael Burry do this to you? First of all, we should remember that all of this brouhaha and anxiety that is caused because of the history of the hits from this guy, or will be, due to the performance of identifying the other crisis. And he now has followers, people who are in decision-making. And yes, it does have a role to change a lot of things. And it was on the 15th day of August in the year 2022. There is not much time in which the story came to the attention of the general public. So we won't go into unnecessary detail, which would take a lot of time here in the video. There is a law that makes it a public to the attention of the audience, but not a lot of detail. Each and every one of the investors in any company that you may enter into the stock and the like. And this year, it was due to this reason. It has been shown that Michael Burry was no longer having any of the action in any other business except that in one of the Geo Group, which is a corporation is publicly traded, which invests in private prisons and mental health facilities in North America, Australia, South Africa, and the United Kingdom. Michael Burry has kept them, but he sold his shares of Google and the finish to the room as well and all the rest, while only one in your wallet. And can we just ask ourselves why they made it so all of a sudden? The reality and the consequences of. First of all, we should keep in mind that this is a man that already has enough money to live well until the end of his life, and also by many generations of your family. Then yeah, we can speculate that he's just bored and want to remove from the front of your finances, so enjoy the rest of your day. But of course, this is all just speculation, because that's another likely scenario, would be that everyone else is afraid that he might have found another crisis earth-shattering, and he's already gearing up to make a profit on top of that, as well as in the other, one at a time, or just to protect against disasters that are larger. But the truth is that the lives of those who is constantly involved in the financial market is not so simple. To interpret the market, so the macro and micro, are quite difficult when you are face to face with one of the thousands of nuances and possibilities of what can happen to you. The other fact is that Michael Burry is a little cryptic in his statement. Some of you may even place it as a daydreamer and a conspirator due to claims of aggressive or even in the wrong, but to others, they find it extremely wise to follow each and every one of your boards. The man has on the electric car company Tesla of Elon Musk and spoke evil of the old-fashioned NTFs, comparing it to the Fiojes magic termination. After all this information is from the channel GabTech, we get a little behind the ear, given that the self is still out of the way of understanding in relation to this matter. However, something undeniable is their professionalism and the amazing ability to find out the time of crisis and in times of high financial market. This man is one of the gurus, investors all over the world to inspire you, and you will learn. But what about you? I had heard about Michael Burry. What do you think of the event? Don't forget to tell here in the comments all that you think. We'll also keep an eye on any further developments in the case. And if you're smart, you'll not lose the opportunity to click on I like and subscribe to the channel, so you can show to YouTube you have found the content in this video is relevant, and it will be shared to more people. I'm going to become even more